Hello everyone, it's my son, Brother Ming. Has it been a long time? I talk about it, about some coloured gemstone pieces. For what reason? It's because I talk about coloured gemstones. In fact, not too many people watch it. Google has a view number, my friend reported it. In fact, there are many differences between diamonds. Some people talk about them on the website, but it's hard for everyone to talk about gems. In fact, there are a lot to talk about diamonds, but it doesn't matter. In fact, there are many differences between diamonds. When I saw this model, am I doing a live broadcast? Actually, it doesn't matter, actually. Close to the row, I just put in a few gems, such as a few big calories, a few sapphires, a few small calories, a sapphire with different shapes, and a few Ruby Harbor gems. Everyone is bored. Let's just say, oops, there are so many kinds of YouTube on the internet, but it actually means, what's the use of showing how beautiful you are so beautiful? What about a pile of rocks, actually? After I bought it and turned it over, I just wear a GRS shirt. Put on the GRS shirt. While everyone is so happy today, first of all, you GRS members can put on the shirt first. What about after putting on the shirt? Every gem comes out of the GRS shirt. The minimum purchase is US $200 per pill, which is actually very expensive. Any size is good. For example, such a fine pill is a GRS. Are these shirts worth paying? It's also a matter of knowledge. So when you finish selling your shirt, the date is new. Hey, it's still October 7th, 2022. In fact, I spent all my time trying to hold it. It's really too busy to put out such a shirt. In fact, when I put out such a shirt, it's like a file clip. It's just a facade skill. I charge you 2,000 silver. In fact, GRS is the most basic shirt. In fact, it's the stock price. For example, you are a stone. I don't know how much it costs. It's so expensive. Some of them will be flat. Actually, GRS, what's the name of one? Ching Ian Teelin doesn't know why the platinum shirt shark is so expensive. I need it first. In fact, it's normal. In fact, the pulp is already good and good. The shirt has already been released. Today, it's fresh and hot. Let me tell you what GRS shirts are like. First of all, the GRS shirt is actually mainly used to make some gems. The main ones are more famous. It seems like making gems is like GRS. There are G Berlin, there are 3 people in Switzerland. The 3 departments are the most famous shirts. So, GRS is the same because GRS is. There are only 2 laboratories, 11 from Swiss companies. There is another one in Hong Kong, which is Thailand. So it's inside a building on Queens Road Central, Hong Kong. If you are a member, you can go for US $200. It's so quick to explain it. GLS goes to the logo. The Swiss company is okay, so a report, so special, so a text is so. It's a German rap report. I don't know if it's French. It's also a rap report. You can ignore the same picture. It's simple together. It's so fast. The number is so fast, it's knocked over online. In fact, it's knocked over online. There are a lot of numbers. If you want to enter, you can look through this search. You can look online. The days are tied one by one. Gemstone is a gemstone. That is, it is not a cat surface. There are some cat surfaces. Some are rough stones. The rough stones are not round stones. They are unpolished design stones. So this is a polished stone. So be careful. Identification, natural sapphire. That is, it is a natural sapphire. And there are many synthetic sapphires at home. If you want to know whether your gemstone is natural or not, it must be you. Of course, you can buy some. You can also bring it to me if you check yourself, and I can help you check, because these stones are not like GIA's side. There is a number on the waistline that can be used for you. The laser black mark is dotted. I will tell you some examples to prove that the stone system is 1 by 1. That's it, of course. The colours in the box may be different, but they are actually the same colour. I will talk about other gemstones later because there are too many talks about gemstones. I won't finish talking about them until next year, and I will get a picture. I am so proud that I put on a laser label. 5.92 cards. OK cards are exactly the same as diamond cards. Dimension is so, 11.73 times mm, so the first 2 are the same length and width. 5.9 cards are so much, so it's about the heart. Cut is a brilliant step cut. What does it mean? So you should pay attention to the society for others. There are so many of you. I've heard of it. The second step 4. Some are all step 4. There is a step 5. This is a step 4, step 5 system. There are some. What exactly does it mean? I've heard people say before, the more the better. Step 5 memes are better than step. There are some words, there are steps, there are bad words for you to listen to, there are steps. In fact, it's a relationship. It's purely a cutting method. Step is actually a relationship, so it's not easy to tell others. So look at these gems. In fact, there are many places to pay attention to. The shape is the shape, so it is the ovo shape, that is, it is the round shape. It is color Vivi blue, so it is the most beautiful color to come to world blue, that is, I call it royal blue. Royal blue is royal blue. but it's GRS. I'm so proud of it. I like it. There is a name behind it, so it's royal blue. So many people like GRS because it has this name. For example, other royal blue has some red treasures, so proud of it. It's called Pigeon Bird, that is, it's called Duck Blood Red. Royal Arashi is not Royal Arashi turning green. What does it mean to be HH? It means that there is burning wool grains. The writing H of stone wool grains means burning wool grains, and the elimination method means old elimination. The recruitment is not about being angry all the time, but about having a zodiac sign and a buried teacher or an old knight. As for, if you want to know what it is, a new knight or an old knight, just look at my previous YouTube. There is a YouTube, so very few people watch it. The explanation is that I don't like it or I don't want to talk about gemstones because I actually have to work hard to cut the film. I cut it into a few hours and so few people watched it, so I cut it carefully. In fact, yes, even if you make people look at it, that is, I talk about diamonds so leisurely. Thousands of people are watching it, but I rarely have a scheming idea. I have been talking about gemstones for more than a year and hundreds of people are watching it. I just have a scheming lift test. What does it mean? That is to say, after a number of different test methods, I can't test it, and I can see some other things, so it's an H, it's the teacher. As for the teacher's good, it's definitely consumption. It's the best, for example, if burn, the next episode of Milchecha Valley is like a pill of 5 calories, it can definitely exceed 1 million. It's definitely auction level, of course. This is another story, okay, but it's actually, I don't know about you. Knowing the trend of gems is just like the trend of diamonds. 50 years ago, people wouldn't buy SI diamonds because they thought it was good to spend VS and VS too. It was not necessary for everyone to have VVS because there were many on the market. In 18198, I first entered the industry. It was not in 1990 when VVS started to be more expensive. It became VS as the main product, but when I got home, it was in 2020. In fact, SI has begun to become mainstream because there were fewer and fewer beautiful writing deals because some natural ones are actually. It's the same as keeping stones. If you talk about how people needed to burn gems a few or 10 years ago because everyone wanted to be natural, there would be no treatment. But it is, and home or enhancement is not treatment. Enhancement is the same as treatment. What about the gemstone world? It's two things, and it needs to be explained again. The formation is so slow, but if you want to tie the red sapphire and blue castle at home, or if you tie some red sapphire and some are tied to the Burma place, for example, the Burma is tied to the Burmese abatong. In fact, it is already tied very little. So start slowly, that is, everyone normally wouldn't go to the auction, right? That is whether I will go or not. So slowly, step by step. So at home, it has been playing and burning. How far is the price of burying and selling sapphire? In fact, if you play with gems, you will know that there are some beautiful mothers and buried beauties. In fact, the beautiful lure to sell gems is not a matter of talking about it. There are treatments and enhancements, that is, other things. What kind of income? Actually, there are all things. If you sell sapphires, the price is 70% to 80%. So in fact, if you sell them, they are already valuable. If you sell them, it is like buying a 5-carat sapphire, which is actually unrealistic at all. It's very far from the ground. I used to be called the deputy director. I was very upright. I was the deputy director. In fact, my family's words were upright or not. Mainlanders are very happy. I am rich and upright. How to complicate things. So this comment is actually very important. When I write one comment, I will observe the different traces inside and look through it, thinking that it is related to the place. Then this comment is related to a Sri Lan. Sapphire, so D, so grading, so GRS. In fact, I didn't know how many years ago there was a doctor who invented it. So, okay, basically you can ignore the QR code. If you first enter the COD top, I can compile it and check it out, but it's so old-fashioned and requires you to enter a lot of trouble. In fact, you don't need to scan the QR code to verify it. Okay, so first, write the GIA number and engrave the waistline. How about proof it? The first one is a certificate. In fact, there are many talks about it. That is, for example, if you can explain one photo, you will see that there are two photos. What is the reason? The question is whether the particles will change color. For example, they will change color under different lights. Some will turn purple. Different colors will change color. So I have two pictures. Then these are back paintings. Because, in fact, you can see this picture. It seems so simple, but it can actually have many details. That is, it proves that this piece is written in a box.